I am absolutely disgusted in myself. I'm aware that this is a disgusting angle, but it deserves to be because I've just recorded this whole video and I haven't included this bad lad, which is my egg yolk edition of People Watching, the indie exclusive one. So if you're watching this video and you're wondering why there's no People Watching when I specifically posted on my Instagram a couple of weeks ago the beauty that is my eggy vinyl, I just want you to know that I completely forgot about it and I'm a fake fan. Anyway, enjoy the video. Hello, don't know if you can tell, we're in a slightly different location today. That's because I'm doing a slightly different video to what I usually do, and this is concerning my pride and joy. So it was record store day this weekend. I'm recording this on the, oh bloody hell, I'm recording this on the Sunday after record store day, of which this year's was a complete and utter fail. Well, I say that. I went in as per usual for two things because I don't want to skimp myself out. I also got a new tattoo yesterday. They are cherries. Anyway, cut long story short, I was going in for the Kasabian 20th anniversary repressing on the 12-inch vinyl, white vinyl, favourite album of all time. And what happens? I watch a person, a couple of people away in the queue in front of me, take the last one. I saw it with my own eyes. He had about 5 vinyl in his hand. And yeah, when I got there, it was gone. Now, I don't know if it's because I went to a smaller shop to what I usually go to. I went to Soundclash in Norwich because that is my closest record store. I usually go to Resident in Brighton because I've been at uni there for the past 3 years. And obviously it's the first year that I'm not there. And I love Resident. Resident really make an event out of it, but because Soundclash is probably the size of my bedroom, it means that their stock is smaller. And I had gone in there like a couple of weeks ago just being like, hi, can you get this one in? Make sure you get this album in. And obviously you can't reserve them. They're not like, because they're so limited, you can't say, oh, I want this one, can you get this and reserve it for me? You can't do that on record store day. It's literally first come, first serve, which is why so many people get up at like 5 a.m. or no, like even earlier, people camp out to get the vinyl that they want. However, I did end up getting Me and the Dog by Sam Fender, which is his new EP. He was obviously the Record Store Day ambassador this year, so I think they did print a few more copies than they probably would have done for the Kasabian one, which I believe was a really limited run. But yeah, it was completely sold out by the time that I got to the desk, which I was really annoyed about, but it's okay because I have Sam and it is beautiful. There are 3 tracks on this that haven't been released before, which are Tyrants, Empty Spaces, and I'm Always on Stage. It starts with People Watching, ends with Me and the Dog, and a live version of People Watching. So it is only an EP, but it's an exclusive and I just had to get it. Anyway, record store day chat done. This video is concerning my coloured special edition vinyl and the zoetrope vinyl that I own, as well as picture discs and special edition releases, and yeah, also my record store day collection that I have. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get started because I feel like this video is going to be a long one. So grab a cuppa and grab a bicky. Right, I'm gonna start with singles first because they're the ones that I have the least amount of. So starting off, we have my Kasabian versus the Prodigy Rocket Fuel remix. Obviously, I'm going to start with the Kasabian one. I have already mentioned I am a bit obsessed. And this is just standard black vinyl 10-inch. For some reason, Kasabian really love 10-inch. All of their first few albums up to Crying Out Loud were released onto 10-inch. 10-inch double vinyl, and then obviously they've released their first album onto 12-inch. To be honest, I don't know, looking back, like I don't know if I'm that bothered because I have obviously got the 10-inch, but because it's my favourite album, I just thought it'd be really nice to have. I then have the Jerry Cinnamon Dark Days and the Bonnie single. This is on fluorescent neon vinyl. I haven't tried this out to see if it glows in the dark, but it is like high-vis jacket, very Bob the Builder core, yellow, green. It's showing up more green on camera, but it's yellow. Oh god, this is like that bloody dress thing, isn't it? Yeah, I think I got this in about 2019. It was around the time I was like really obsessed with his first album. When I was about 15, 16, I got this. I used to play the shit out of that debut album. And then lastly, I have 2 7-inches, which are actually the exact same colour. They're white. First one is really cool. I can't wait to show this one. This is Duran Duran View to a Kill. You will see very shortly that I am a bit of a Duran Duran fan, and I do have a couple of their vinyl pressed onto coloured vinyl, and this is another really weird thing. I am pretty sure they're all white. But yeah, so this is a gatefold 7-inch, and boom, it's like the opening credits to James Bond, and then you open it up and it's like that, and there's like footprints behind it. It's so cool. This is like an original from 1985 as well, and it's just got little shots from the music video and then obviously the film up there. And the last single that I have before I go on to all my albums is Soundfender's Wild Grey Ocean and Little Bill of Life single, and this is white vinyl, and this was one of my first record store day purchases. Okay, now moving on to my albums, and I'm going to go in alphabetical order, and the first one I have is Lily Allen's It's Not Me, It's You. This was released for Record Store Day in 2024, and this is one of them zoetrope vinyls. This album was like, I feel like a childhood staple. If you grew up in the 2000s, I feel like every girl, and I mean I'm not gender stereotyping here, but like I feel like every girl was obsessed with Lily Allen back in the day. And look at that. I mean, it doesn't really move. I think it goes blurry, obviously. I was expecting it to fully like move like the music video. It's pretty cool. I think there was a couple of these type vinyl this year. I know that the Blur one was very similar, and I do actually have a Blur one. I've actually got 2 Blur ones to show you. Bloody love this album. Favourite tracks on this are Everyone's At It. I love The Fear, obviously. Who'd have Known reminds me of my childhood because I had it on my karaoke machine, and I also really like Chinese as well. One of my most recent album purchases is The Service Station at the End of the Universe by Anthony Schmerich. If you follow the blog and you've been watching this channel for a while, you all know that I'm slightly obsessed with this guy and his ravey poetry, and this is a nice clear white vinyl. Look at that, it's like translucent. I always feel like terrified picking up vinyl just to show people. This album is bloody stunning. My favourite tracks on this album are Angie's Wedding. I'm fully convinced Angie's Wedding is going to be like my most played track on Spotify this year. I've listened to that track so many times because it really reminds me of like early 90s dance, kind of 808 state kind of vibe, Orbital. A lot of that sort of vibe is very sort of present in this album, and if you want to see a full review of it, then you can go check out the latest Lug Holes post. I'll leave a link down below. There's a wasp outside. Gary by Blossoms, you may see that I've taken out of the thing already. That's because I had to cut because that fly was really annoying me. So this is the deluxe edition, and they had 2 deluxe editions. They had this one, which is the one with just the bonus tracks on the side, so you get the album and then the bonus tracks that didn't quite make the cut to the finalised album. And then there was also a covers edition, which I would have quite liked to get, but I kind of like had to pick between the 2, so I went for this one. They've since released all of the covers onto Spotify. They've started to release a couple of the tracks from this side, so most recently The Honeymoon, but obviously To Do This After the Breakup is also on Spotify and has been for a considerable amount of time. This one, in the words of Spandau Ballet, is gold, and the other one is as well. And like The Service Station at the End of the Universe, we have actually, I'm gonna really struggle with this, but we've reviewed it on the blog, so if you want to know some more thoughts on the album, then there will be a link to the blog down below. And then we have my Blur collection. This is Leisure, their first album, and then I have Part Life, but you already knew that. This is the 25th anniversary pressing of Leisure, and as you can see, it is signed to me by Dave Rowntree because I met him a couple of years ago. This was actually, fun fact, my first vinyl. And it's a nice little turquoise colour. This was back when they were quite shoegazy. I love the aesthetic of this one though. Like, don't those colours go together so well? The favourite tracks on this album, I feel like She's So High has got to be up there. That was like their first single. It's a really simple song, but I love the effects on it. I love Sing just because it was in Train Spotting, and obviously There's No Other Way is another absolute banger. Park Life is another one for Record Store Day. This is a 30th anniversary print, and once again this is another one of those zoetrope vinyl. This one is a bit different to Lily Allen one, where that one had like the music videos and things on it, and this one just has the dog, which is just a reminder, despite the fact that it's on the album cover, do not support dog racing because it is cruel. Favourite tracks on this album are Girls and Boys, London Loves, and I'm very tempted to say Lot 105 because that's what the inside of my brain sounds like. So, well, it's either that or Far Out. I've then got Deco's Nice Car EP. I don't actually have the album on vinyl. This is actually the only thing of theirs that I own, but I got this at the second Deco gig I went to, which was in support of this EP coming out, and they signed it. This, once again, is like a turquoisey one. Well, this is like a darker, it's like a teal one. This is actually the colour of my bedroom wall when I was about 12. Sticking with the 80s theme, they're back. I got 2 of them. So this is the 40th anniversary edition of the first Duran Duran album, the self-titled. And this comes with a bonus 12-inch of the night versions of Planet Earth and Girls on Film. I would have liked them to have, instead of that, released the B-sides from that era, so like Late Bar, Canada, Faster Than Light. So yeah, basically this is what both the vinyl look like, so I'm not gonna get the other one and show you. This is the bonus one, I think, and then the sleeve is just them in all their early 80s new romantic glory. And then I've got Future Past, which I've literally just taken out of the vinyl because I forgot to press film because I'm stupid. This was the album before Danse Macabre came out, which I haven't got on vinyl, which I think was actually a release for Record Store Day this year. They released like a picture disc, or was it a zoetrope? It was one of the two on white vinyl again. I know they did a couple of pressings of this. I think they did a red one, I think they did a green one. I got the white one. I got this was back when I was still buying records from HMV. So I don't know if this is a HMV exclusive or what. For some mental reason, they missed a couple of the tracks out from this. I think Nothing Less was one of the ones. Yeah, Nothing Less wasn't on this. And I can't remember the other one that wasn't on there. But I think there's 2 tracks that were missing from this, and still to this day, I don't quite know why. Right, we're on to the second pile now. Firstly, I've got 2 Inhaler vinyl. I do also own It Won't Always Be Like This, but that's on standard black vinyl. So Cuts and Bruises, this is, I don't know if this is an indie exclusive edition, because this is a white and black splatter vinyl. I got this from Resident in Brighton. Bloody love Resident. I don't know if I've already mentioned that. And the cover is obviously different to how it is on the standard and also on the digital cover. Look at it. It's very tie-dye, very splattery. I like it a lot. I really, really love vinyl that looks like this. And then we have the latest one, which is Open Wide. Once again, mentioned this in Lug Holes. If you want to read about what we think of this album, go have a look. And this is the Bobby Skeets version, because I think they each had different sleeves, so I obviously got the Bobby Skeets. And this again is a splatter vinyl. It's white and pink. I think I ordered this in from Soundclash, and I ordered it in as a pink one. What I didn't realise that this is actually a splatter one. So I mean, I'm happy with that, because I mean, it looks cool. But there was like a real, I think, like proper pink one, and I really, really liked that. But you know, I'm happy, and I've got the album, and that's all that matters. And Bobby Skeets in this Princess Diana era, need I say more? I then have my beloved Kasabian and their most recent album, Happenings. Now, I actually own 2 copies of this on vinyl. I have the standard black, which I pre-ordered to get pre-sale access to Victoria Park tickets, and then they announced that they were doing a little Spotify exclusive, and I just, because I had the link, I got sent the link, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get another one. It helps them chart, it helps them grow. I also own it on CD, because I basically, with every Kasabian album, I have to buy the vinyl and I have to buy the CD. Like, there is no debate about that. And I actually think I prefer the inlay sleeve to the actual cover. I just love the pop art vibe of it, and this is it. It's kind of translucent if you hold it up to the light, but it's quite, yeah, it's showing up quite dark. It comes up as lighter on camera, obviously. It comes up as lighter in real life if it reflects in the light, but you can just see my window there. And once again, this is me plugging my other content. If you want to know what I got up to when I followed them around on every day of the UK leg of the Happenings tour, then there will obviously be a link to that round the side, or on my channel you can just click and subscribe while you're at it. This next vinyl I don't actually know much about, other than the fact I inherited it from my dad's collection, because a lot of these vinyl, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, are actually inherited. They're from my parents' collection. They have banging taste, so there's some absolute classics in there. We've got U2, we've got Simple Minds, we've got The Police, and because we've got The Police, we've got the Clark Kent album, and I realise that this is backwards, which is Stuart Copeland's solo album. This came out about 1980, I think, around the early 80s. 1980, yeah, I was right. I think I'd get a t-shirt for that if I was on Popmaster, or is that 1 year out? This is green, which is slightly mad, because I didn't think coloured vinyl were a thing back in the day. I thought that coloured vinyl was a new thing, but no, it's green and it's translucent and it's the colour of bogey. I haven't actually listened to this though, which might get a lot of the vinyl bros a bit upset. Like, you don't listen to your albums? I do, but that's what happens when you inherit a lot of albums. You don't have time to listen to all of them. But yeah, I will one day. Don't you worry. You all know how I feel about this album. This is Prelude to Ecstasy by Last in a Party, which I've talked about many times before. And this is, again, this is an indie exclusive one, and it's blood red. Look how stunning. Just like the album itself. And yeah, I've already talked about this album way too much on this channel, so moving on. Now this next one's a bit of a weird one. Well, it's not a weird one, but it's weird because I got it as a record store day exclusive, but I got it in a record store sale. I got it from a shop in Brighton, and I can't think what it was called. But it is the Menswear Extra Material vinyl. Now I got this when I was actually looking for Menswear's Nuisance album, because it's one of my favourite albums of the whole Britpop era. Absolutely love it. I still don't own it on vinyl though. When I saw this, I just had to get it, because first of all, it's menswear. I was looking for Nuisance, but I thought I can't leave a menswear vinyl. They are one of my absolute favourite bands of the Britpop era. They only released one album. They released Nuisance, and then they released Hey Tiempo in Japan, I think, and it wasn't released in the UK until about 2020. And this is a white vinyl. Once again, I don't know what it is with white vinyl. I don't know, maybe people just want to be different. Vinyl is usually black, so we're going to do it white because, you know, we want to be edgy. But this just has like the single versions of singles, so they have like the 7-inch version of I Manage Somehow, live sessions, bonus tracks from Nuisance, and then all the demos. So like you've got the demo of Stardust and Daydreamer, and then like live versions of The One and Sleeping In and Little Miss Pinpoint Eyes. On the other side, so it's 2 vinyl, you've got the Hey Tiempo sessions, which are like all the demos from when they were recording that album. Then this is me getting into my little music history geek thing again. I've got the Now yearbook from 1983. This was the first one that they released, and they've released loads of them now, but they're so expensive that I haven't really invested in them. So basically what the Now yearbook is it's a series of vinyl where Now will put in the best tracks, the creme de la creme, if you will, of tracks from a certain year, and they'll put them into a triple vinyl. They also release like the CDs, and the CDs are even more like expansive. They have like 4 discs on them, and they also then release a extra material thing which has more tracks, but I don't think the extra material gets printed onto vinyl. I'm not too sure. So this is the 83 version, which was the first one that came out, and I got this because 1983, I'm pretty sure, is my favourite year in the 80s for music. I want to say either that or 88, just because 88, 89 is around the time that all the sort of baggy dance music came in, plus really good for cheese. If you know me, you know I love cheese, as in music, not the dairy food. This is on red vinyl. All of these are red. I know that they all are different colours. I think the 84 one is blue, and there are some absolute bangers on this. Wham! Club Tropicana, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by Eurythmics, Duran Duran, Is There Something I Should Know, Culture Club, Karma Chameleon, Spandau Ballet, True, Tina Turner, Let's Stay Together. That's just the first side. Right, we're on the home stretch, and this is where it starts to get a little bit comforting, a little bit nostalgic. But first we have the SLP, which is Serge from Kasabian's solo album. And in a way, this is quite nostalgic because I got this when I finished my GCSEs. This was my little results day present. It's a limited edition press, and it's clear vinyl, and it's different to the normal sleeve. This is glittering, and the actual one is the actual photo of Serge on the front. So it is clear, but it's got like a purpley sort of print. It looks grey on camera, but I don't know, is there a way? It's so difficult to try and show you this one. But yeah, it's not grey, it is lilac. Okay. I feel very defensive about that. It's not grey, it's lilac, and it's clear. And then the last 3 albums are a little bit nostalgic, a little bit like poppy, cheesy. It's kind of that sort of side of me. If you know me, you will know that I am a massive sucker for like noughties and 90s pop. First 2 are my Spice Girls vinyl. So I have Spice 25 and I have Spice World. I don't have Forever on vinyl because, to be honest, and I think most Spice Girls fans can say this, Forever wasn't their best work. So Spice 25 was my first one. I got the Jerry cover. They did different covers for each of them. If I show you the inlay, so that all the vinyl would be this colour. So Mel B's one would be green, Mel C's one yellow, Victoria's pink, and then Emma's is like a baby pink. But Jerry's is, I mean, look at that, look how stunning that is. Again, this is one that's kind of clear, kind of transparent, and I absolutely adore it. I love this pressing. And then we have my favourite of the 2, which is this is really annoying me because it's not lining up, but this is Spice World 25, and this is a picture disc. This was actually my first picture disc, and this is actually my favourite Spice Girls album because it reminds me of the film Spice World, which is a cinematic masterpiece. If you have not seen Spice World, you have not lived. Move Over, Do It, Denying, I feel like is just a great 3-track run, and then it goes into Viva Forever, and then it goes into the absolute camp Hun anthem that is The Ladies of Amp. If you haven't heard Ladies of Amp, again, you haven't lived. It is an experience and a half. And then the last one we have is a very nostalgic one in terms of my record collection. I think this is the most sort of like when I feel really, really shit and I need something that's going to perk me up a bit and make me think of like, oh, when I was a kid and I had no cares in the world apart from when my teachers were really horrible to me and when my favourite magazine sold out before I could get it. This is the thing I stick on. This is the Wanted, Most Wanted Greatest Hits album, and I got this around the time I went to see them on tour because I went to the reunion tour and like healed my inner child. This is on orange vinyl, and the sleeve is really cute because it has like all photos of them back in the day and things. This is it, and it's actually kind of marbly. Again, it's not going to show up on camera, but it's got like this kind of marble effect to it. But yeah, this has all the singles that pretty much everybody knows. You've got Glad You Came, All Time Low, Chasing the Sun, Heart Vacancy, Lightning, Gold Forever, We Own the Night, I Found You, Walks Like Rihanna, Warzone, Show Me Love America, and then it starts off with the 2 new tracks that they released when they got back together, which they did do on tour as well. That is all of my limited edition, coloured vinyl, picture disc, record store day. That's all of that in a collection. I might do, one day, I might bite the bullet and do a whole record collection video, but it will probably be a reel or a YouTube short because I feel like it would take about an hour, much like this video is going to take me to edit. In fact, it's probably going to take more than that. If you like this video, give it a like, comment down below, let me know how your record store day went. Were you a good little boy or girl and get everything that you asked for, or did you only get shame and betrayal at the fact that you couldn't get everything that you wanted and everything was sold out? And fear not, I feel the exact same way as you do. Hit the subscribe button if you want to subscribe, check out the blog, check out the Instagram pages, and I will see you very soon for another video.